everybody, Tom from 2C Marketing here. We're doing the final wrap-up video for how you're losing childcare leads and how to fix it. There's 5 videos before this. If you've sat through them, bless you. I know they were kind of boring PowerPoint. I promise to do better later. There's a lot of information in there, and what we're hoping to do here is answer the big question, which is, okay, great, you talk for hours and hours. Now what do we do? Where do we start with this? I'm going to answer that in a second. So this whole series, we talked about the sales funnel. You can call it the life of the lead. Basically, impressions, people can find you. They become a lead. They inquire about your center because they like what you're saying. From there, they enter the sales process. Sales process is your tour, any kind of face-to-face contact over the phone, whatever. You know, you've got them. You're giving them that information. And from there, they become an enrollment. Right? Never lost opportunity. So within here, there's a bunch of loss points. You're going to have to watch the first 5 videos to really determine what they are, find out what we were talking about. I'm not going to go through that again. So we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do right now, place to start. Okay, number 1. Wow, this thing is wobbly. Brand. Okay. I said this probably a couple times throughout the videos. I'm going to do something on this. I don't know if it's going to be another series or just another video. I don't know, these things get really long. It might be a webinar, so sign up to find out when that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a webinar. Real quick though, when I talk about brand, and I know I said this, a lot of people think it's your logo, it's your fonts, your colors, you know, the way things look. That's your brand image, which is important, but your brand image is a reflection of what your brand is. Your brand is your position. It's your positioning statement. It's basically what you are to the people that you're targeting. And from there, you determine your messaging. What's your messaging? What are your differentiators? Remember, I've said this a million times. Chris Murray, what's she always talking about? Differentiators. You got to be different. What are your benefits? What are you to these people that you're targeting that your competition isn't? Are you cheaper? Are you better? Are you, whatever it is, figure out what this is. And the way you do that, and again, I'll get more into this, the way you do that is you take a long, hard look at your company. You do what's called a SWOT meeting. You talk about your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I am, by the way, breezing over like some pretty heavy stuff. That's a lot of legwork, but you got to do it. You talk about your company, you talk about your competition, you talk about your customer. 3 C's. This is basic marketing stuff, but this is where it starts. And you identify your position. From there, you identify what your messaging is. And from there, you talk about your brand imaging. You know, your logo, your look of everything is determined by, does it help what your messaging is. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. What's the second thing you can do right now? Lead tracking. Okay, now this is for, if Emily Smith is watching this, or Chuck Gibbs, or any of you good people over there, I'm doing this for you. And I'm doing this for anybody else watching this. I'm saving you the time. Call these people. Childcare CRM. I've talked about this at length, as I do. Whatever video that was, I don't know, somewhere, maybe 4, whatever. They have built the system that you need. I'm telling you, I have a lot of experience with different CRMs, different industries. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Salesforce, Zoho, I mean, everybody's got a CRM, and it does great stuff. Doesn't do what this one does. This is built for the enrollment process. This is what you're looking for. Save yourself time. Because I'm telling you, no matter what your intentions are, no matter what your intentions are, your director's intentions to call these people back into contact or whatever, there are people falling through the cracks. For every one person that falls through the crack, depending on what the lifetime value of your customer is, or maybe annual because it's an enrollment process, if it's an infant and you didn't call them back, you lost depending on how long your program is, you lost potentially 4 or 5 years of income just because you didn't follow through with them, and the person down the street had this set up and they followed through and they went there. This is a no-brainer. This is huge. And I'll say this too, this could very easily be number 1. The reason I put it number 2 is because once this is determined, what your messaging is and the look and all that stuff, that goes into this. And this ties in with what your impressions are, what you're saying at the tour. Everybody who works for the company needs to understand what the brand is, what the position is, and what your messaging is. And this is part of it. And you are going to populate this and customize it with drip campaigns and whatever, and it's all going to tie into this. Trust me, I know everybody, it's not just childcare, doesn't want to talk about this because this takes time to come up with, and you want enrollments yesterday. I get it. Take the time, talk about it. What are your differentiators? I'm going to stop. Okay. Number 3. So, say you did all this work. This is all set up to take leads. It's automated. Nothing's going to fall through the cracks. There's a follow through from the first point of contact until they either enroll or become a lost opportunity. That's the whole point of this thing. But nobody can find you. So what's number 3? Impressions. Now, again, watch the first video. I go on and on and on about different kinds of impressions. It's really simple. If nobody can find you, they're not going to call you. It doesn't matter how great you are. If there aren't enough leads coming in, you're never going to have enough enrollments. Even if you have a 100% conversion rate from contacted to enrolled, or tour completed, to enrolled. If you only have 5 leads coming in, you get 5 enrolled. That's it. So you need to get out there. Again, this is a whole can of worms. You can do a lot of different stuff. One of the things that I cannot believe I did not mention in the first one, and the only reason I can think that I didn't mention it is because it's a given, it's a no-brainer, is community marketing. Get out there. All it costs you is the time to get out there and build these relationships, and whatever you spend on collateral material. It's negligible. It doesn't, but get out there. Go to your pediatricians. Go to your local elementary school. And don't just walk in and drop this stuff. Talk to the people. Give them your crap. Take their crap. Put their crap on your wall. Make it a parent resources wall. Have a bunch of Dr. Trifolds or whatever. It's a reciprocal thing, and keep it up. Over the holidays, bring them some cookies and some new trifolds or whatever. Maintain these relationships. It doesn't take that much, and I'm calling it free. It's not really, but it's like a free bunch of impressions. Again, this is a lot more involved. You need to figure out what your return on investment is with these impressions, what you're spending money on, and whatever. That's a whole different thing. But again, these impressions, they all need to say the same thing, they all need to look the same, they all need to whatever. That is determined by this. That's why I put this as the first one. Okay, again, this is real tip of the iceberg stuff. You can get a lot more involved in it. But it's a good place to start. And as always, let us know how we can help. You can go to 2cmarketing.com, fill out the form, or email me directly, tom@2cmarketing.com. And we'd be happy to help you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next whatever it is we're going to do. Hope you have a good day.